Sales and marketing alignment is essentially the procedure that a company needs to do in order to make sure that all of their marketing and sales material is all pointing in the same direction. What I've often found when it comes to businesses is that the sales team is like off selling in Cape Town and the marketing team is marketing in Joburg. I mean, those are very extreme examples, but the idea is that the sales team and the marketing team haven't sat down and spoken and said, wait a minute, what is our ideal prospect and where are they? And who are they? And what is the persona of our business? And where can we actually work together in order to make this happen? And I found over the years, speaking to different marketing agencies or digital marketing agencies, that they never ever stopped and asked my sales team what's happening on the front line. So what I decided to do a couple of years back was to set up a business that would not only provide the lead, but also make sure that that lead got converted into an actual sale or money in the bank, which is what people are really doing. So we have created we're trying to create a space where companies will be able to have those conversations. How we want to do that is we want to do that through an assessment. So what we've done is we've created an assessment. It's a half-day workshop. What this workshop basically does is we sit down with the owner of the business, we sit down with the head of marketing, head of sales, or the sales team and the marketing team, it doesn't really matter, and we actually ask them a whole stack of these questions. We ask them all about their sales team and how they get there and what's important for the sales team, and we do the same thing for marketing, and we get them to rate each other, which is quite exciting as well, because we get the true value of actually what's happening within the business. And a lot of times the guy running the business doesn't actually know that there's this misalignment. They kind of think, well, wait a minute, they're sitting in the same office, these guys should know what's going on. But they actually haven't spoken about the hard questions, which is what we come and we ask them these questions and we actually get the answers. And we always say, we want to know how big your wart is. Like if you go into a doctor's office and you say, hey doc, I've got a wart, and he says, show it to me, you say no, how's he ever going to fix the wart? We try and expose as many warts as we can. Just to step back, why was this need created? Why was this problem created? And I believe that, the life cycle of a company really is when it's in a startup and they've just started, it's all hands on deck. Everyone's kind of sitting in one room. There might be 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 people in the same room, and everyone's kind of doing every job. So the owner is making coffee, and the sales guy's doing the marketing, and it's everyone's doing it. It's quite like an energetic environment. It's compared to sometimes to pirates. Everyone's there looting and just going and trying to build this company. What then happens is the business starts to scale. They get over that like $1 million a year mark, or what we consider 15 million rand a year, and they start splitting their teams. They start saying, cool, HR, you sit there in that office, finance, you sit in that office, sales, you sit in that office, marketing, you sit in that office, and all of a sudden things start cracking. So as we said, like the marketing maybe gets marketed around the country when the sales guys can only facilitate one area, or the sales guys keep on saying that the leads that are coming from marketing are trapped, and the marketing guys say, well, wait a minute, we're sending you gold here, you guys aren't being able to convert this. And there's this constant battle between sales and marketing, and the sales guys, all goes back to the boss, and the boss goes, well, what's actually happening here? So we want to act, so that problem happens, and then what happens with that is that people struggle to get from 15 million rand to the next benchmark, which might be 20, 50, 100 million rand. So what we realize is if we can work out a system to align those teams and to have those conversations in the office, we'll be able to increase the turnover ultimately. What we kept on hitting our heads though was the word culture. So what we would find is the reason that the misalignment happened was also because the culture of the business didn't allow for it, i.e. there was either fear or favoritism, or there was no space there. Like everyone thought sales and marketing was one function, where we clearly know that it is two separate functions. So we included in our assessments, we included the whole idea behind culture and what is the boss bringing to the party. Not that we want to come in and fix your culture, we just want to expose it for what it is. So like we always say to guys, if your culture is like, go out there, doesn't matter whose head you stand on, to make as much money as you possibly can, that's great. We have no issue with that. But then don't go hire people who want to save the rainforest, or people who want to save the dolphins, because you're going to have a misalignment in your culture. There's going to be an unhappiness at work, and therefore obviously turnover will be affected.